but I think they put themselves in great position to win with a 2-2 draw. I expect the Galaxy to play well because it's not in the Galaxy's nature to lay down. But once again, this is the LA Galaxy, and they've shown the ability to beat teams that are the favorite. We'll see how that goes. I'm definitely going to watch that game. It looks like a very intriguing matchup. Now we move over to Tuesday, and not just Tuesday this time, to the UEFA Champions League, and we are going to start with Bayern Munich at Manchester City. City has been really bad. I mean, they've been really, really bad in the Champions League, and they are on the brink. And of course, because it's Bayern and we have Bayern, and they're so close, we'll let Bayern go first. Bayern at Man City. What do you think happens in this one?
I'm going to go with my gut here because I have not watched Bayern play as of lately, because I don't think there's a way to watch Bundesliga besides if you go online. Between these two teams, Manchester City, if you talk about a team that started off very well, they played an unbelievable game. Was it against Chelsea? Against Liverpool. And I remember Aguero came on and scored the second after he came on. So I know that's a really random side that I just had there. But the Barclays Premier League, when you put them against the high competition of other leagues like the Bundesliga, the La Liga, and not the Serie A, when you put them against Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they seem to lose. They have not had a ton of Champions League success. And I think that's been true. Over the last few years, it's been the same teams, Bayern Munich, maybe one Chelsea here and there, but Real, Barcelona, Juventus sometimes, it's all around those other teams. And whenever you put the Premier League teams against these out-of-league competition that are giants like Bayern and Barcelona, the Premier League teams crack. And this is still the group stage. And I have a question to ask. Can there be ties in this?
Yes, there can be.
There can be ties. Okay. I'm not going to go with the tie. I just want to make things a little interesting. I'm going to go 1-0 Bayern Munich right here.
Okay.
Because Bayern Munich's defense, compared to Manchester City's, is a step above. And you put Bayern Munich all around, Robben, Ribery, even in your strikers with Lewandowski, I think even though they've struggled lately, they will find their rhythm. They've done well in the Bundesliga, and I think they're going to win this game. But I do not have a ton of faith in that prediction, to be honest, because Manchester City is still a great team.
Here's what I'd like to say. Over the past few years, when Manchester City has been in the Champions League, they have been one of the worst teams I have watched. One of the biggest embarrassments to Premier League soccer, period. Even at least Manchester United made it out of the group stage, even though they were horrible. Manchester City didn't. Manchester City collapsed, and sure, they've had tough groups twice in a row. They had Dortmund and Real Madrid at one point, which wasn't easy. That was the year Dortmund went on to make the championship game. But once again, they have to get out of the group stage. This year was their year. They didn't perform up to par so far. They're not out of it. They are still very much in the race. But they lost to CSK Moscow. CSK Moscow's not a bad team, but that's unacceptable. And though Bayern Munich is losing Lahm, and they may not have Müller, they're just going to throw in people like Javi Martinez, and it's perfectly fine. That defense, they have Xabi Alonso as well. They've got Dante, they've got Benatia, Ribery, as you said, Lewandowski, Robben, Schweinsteiger, Alaba. It's so deep. Götze, Boet, it just goes on. And then, of course, Neuer in goal. I don't think Manchester City can do it. I know they're playing at home, but I think they're going to lose, and I think they're going to lose big. I think they lose 3-0, and I think this ends their hope of advancing past the group stage, and once again, proving to be a disappointment. They spend so much money, and it doesn't seem to be paying off in the Champions League, or right now, even in the Premier League, as they sit third. Jake, do you think Manchester City has a chance?
Look, I don't care if this game is played at the Etihad. Right now, I'd much rather fly Lufthansa the way that Man City's been playing. Look, they just drew against Queen's Park Rangers. This was the team where the magic all started, Remember, Premier League dreams have come true in blue. The 2 miracle stoppage time goals, they drew. The dream bubble has been burst. They are not playing well in Champions League play. They are not playing nearly as well as they should be in the Premier League either. And it does not get any easier when you go up against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich's got Dante, but it's going to be an inferno for Man City. I'm going 4-1 Bayern.
Well, right now we have all Bayern. Only one we seem to actually disagree on. We had 2 draws in the Man U, so that's. Or no, we had a win. Oh, Jake seems to be the different guy. Like, he seems to be the one taking the big risks. And because we almost forgot to do this, and I do want to clarify why it may be that he's taking big risks. He's in last, 23-32 record with 30 points. Bayern in second. He's done well, leading the scoring the past 2 weeks. He's got 38, and then I'm in first with 55. Record of 34-21. It could be, you know what? Byron has had a push of late. You've put up what? You have led the scoring the past 2 weeks. So, comebacks maybe? But yeah, let's go on to the last of the quick picks. Another game that could have massive implications on the UEFA Champions League this year. And that is Olympiacos going on the road to Atletico Madrid. They won at home against Atletico, but this is a tough game. Right now, as it stands in Group A, we've got Atletico with 9 points, Olympiacos with 6, Juventus with 6, and Malmo with 3. At this point, a win by Olympiacos and a win by Juventus would put them in a 3-way tie. But even a point for Olympiacos would be massive in their quest to make it past the first round for the second straight year in a difficult group. And of course, that could spell disaster for Juventus. We will start with Jake. It's a big game. Can Olympiacos pull off the improbable?
Look, if you're an American and you're trying to get into soccer right now and think, I'll start with the Champions League, I definitely suggest you do not watch Olympiacos versus Atletico Madrid, unless you're the type of person that really likes 6-3 NFL games. The problem with these two teams, and the solution is, they're very good defensively, and I think they're both too strong defensively that they'll almost cancel one another out. I'm going with a plain simple scoreless draw.
That would be massive for Olympiacos. Byron, it's one of the premier Spanish teams. They haven't been playing as well as people expected them to. Dropping very far down in the table in La Liga. What is it, 4th now? Just not performing where you'd expect them to. But this is a chance to push themselves into the next round. What do you think?
Well, I'm just peeked a look at the La Liga BBVA standings, and Atletico Madrid's at 23 points. Valencia's at 24, which is in 3rd, and Barcelona's in 2nd with 25th. So they're not doing that badly. They're up there. They're only 4 points behind Real Madrid, number 1. They're 7-2 overall. So I don't think they've been underperforming that much. And that being said, the La Liga's an extremely competitive league, especially at the top of the league when you play teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Sevilla, etc. Olympiacos, look, I'm Greek. Olympiacos is the best team in Greece. But come on, what does the best team in Greece really even mean? The best team in Greece is barely better than the best team in the MLS. There's a reason why Olympiacos goes to the UEFA Champions League every year. And because the rest of the Greek league sucks. And they come in, sometimes they do some damage when Kostas Mitroglou dominated last season before he went to Fulham and absolutely was terrible. So I think a team like Olympiacos isn't going to compete against Atletico Madrid. It might be close. They pulled off upsets before because they're not a bad team, but this is like a better Seattle Sounders playing Atletico Madrid. We all know what's going to happen. Atletico Madrid takes the win. I'm going to go 3-1. Actually, 2-0. 2-0. I'm really bad with scores. I'm going to be honest.
You got a score last week between Dortmund and Bayern. And unfortunately, this time, not featuring a German team. My turn now. Look, it's Atletico's time to push themselves into the next round. But I like Olympiacos. I like what I've seen from them, and I like them to take a draw as well. 0-0, a little too conservative for me. I'm going to go 7-7 and just go the exact opposite of Jake now. It's the funny thing is, at this point in the standings, I could take that risk and it still probably wouldn't affect me at all. Especially if nobody else, especially if we end up with the result where everybody gets it right, or me and Jake both got it right. You know what? I'll take a risk. Let's go 3-3. Let's go 3-3 in this game, just for the heck of it. I think it's like competitive balance. We're trying to make it a more competitive quick pick. So 3-3, my final score between those two teams. Jake, just a quick question. You know, you're at the bottom. There are thoughts that you are tanking. To those critics, what do you say?
I am very honored that you think I would do so well in a relegation league of picks. I'm not so sure, but I appreciate it. Thank you for your faith in me and my I'm just trying to win something. If it means relegation, whatever. I think I'm just looking at the Capital One Cup right now. That's where my focuses are, and we'll just see where the season plays out. There's no lottery to worry about this time.
Okay, and Jake, what do you think on your chances to maybe pull it back into second? You are only 8 points behind. Byron, is there a chance, and are you looking to make moves before the deadline?
Am I looking to make moves before the deadline? Yes, I already did. I'm picking Bayern Munich to win to score 4 goals in the Etihad. I'm picking a scoreless draw between Olympiacos and Atletico Madrid. You need to take risks. At this point, I have nothing to lose. There are only 3 teams. We are all going to be promoted, and we are all going to be relegated. There is nothing. There is everything. At the end, it is just me, some numbers, and God.
Okie dokie. Well, that ends our interview section with Jake. Thank you, Jake, for joining us on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. Okay. Well, it's time for Byron to go. He's got some work to do. So, Byron, thank you for being on the show, and we will see you next week.
Thank you guys for being here. We'll be back for some more Kicking It. Hopefully my picks go in well. Check out my YouTube channel at Bison. Thanks, guys.
Okay, see you later. Well, we are going to move on now to our power rankings. This could be intriguing to see how the top 5 shake up for both of us. So, Jake, would you like me to go first, or would you like the honors?
Considering with a look at the tables we have, this would be the first time I'm first in anything in this show. So yeah, I'm going to go first. European power rankings. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, PSG, and Chelsea. What? Why? No PSG. I mean, you've been on a hot streak and all, but
So what do you say? What do you say?
PSG 5 for PSG. They go 5. You look at the other 4. I'll go. Given Barcelona's recent form, I'll put them at 4. Now we have Chelsea, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid. This is really the big 3 at this point. But I think it's easy still at this point. Chelsea is number 3. And now, if you have your top 2, Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, well, Real Madrid's been hot lately, but Bayern, I still believe,
really
is the number 1 team. I have yet to see anything that would
the draw versus Borussia Mönchengladbach didn't do that.
No, if we're gonna draw for the past, how long ago was that?
I mean, it was what, October 29th, so 2 weeks ago, 2.5.
3.
Okay, 3 weeks ago. That's the same amount of time. Okay, let's go to mine.
Real Madrid, they've been hot.
They've dominated. Nobody's dominated like Real Madrid have over the past weeks, and they destroyed Barcelona.
You know what? You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do for you, Noah? I'm going to put Real Madrid 1. I'm going to put Manchester United 2.
This is interesting.
Oh. I'm going to put the Chicago Fire 3.
You know what? Okay, let me go into mine. Here's why Chelsea...
State boys soccer team 4.
Here's why Chelsea